Hey everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino, back for my post-market wrap-up on this, lovely day. But I want to talk about a few things here that maybe aren't so lovely, and a few things that I believe many of you seem to be overlooking here, and it's important. Friday, July 20th, 2018. Let's start off with this. Last Saturday, I did a video where I explained where I believed stocks would go for the week higher. Well, this would be the third week in a row that I have nailed this. Stocks did finish higher for this week, the prior week, and the week before that. I have no idea, as of yet, where they're going next week. I will be doing a look ahead video tomorrow. I hope you tune into that. But this is going to be a little hard for me. I'm not going to lie with this coming week because there's so much going on, and that's what I want to talk about. Unless you live under a rock, you understand that we've had some incredible events occur over the last 2 days with regard to the dollar and debt. Dollar being a unit of debt. President Trump made it as clear as he possibly could yesterday when the dollar was in rally mode that he does not believe or does not want to see the Federal Reserve raise interest rates, despite the fact that he has said on that same interview and other times that the U.S. economy is as strong as it's ever been. So you have to stand back a moment and say, why is our president fearful of insignificant? We're talking about a 25 basis point, maybe 50 basis point hike regarding the federal funds rate, the short end of the curve by the end of the year. It's almost laughable. But you can see the effect that this had. I mean, the dollar reversed yesterday in the blink of an eye. I explained to you how that happened. And today, the dollar was a bloodbath. Bonds also got hammered. Okay, so what we need to look at here is a few things. What does this all mean in the grand scheme of things? You got to look at the big picture. You can sit here and say, okay, well, President Trump likes the weak dollar. So do other countries as well. So what does this have the potential to start? A currency war, a big currency war. If we start devaluing our currency, the U.S. dollar, other countries will follow. You understand? Also, there seems to be some confusion here. A lot of you are believing that somehow, and I don't get it, that this is President Trump trying to get rid of the Federal Reserve. How can that be if he's asking the Fed for more of their product? The Fed's product is debt. He's explaining that he wants the dollar weaker. The Fed will have to print more. He's explaining that he doesn't want the Fed to raise rates. That means the Fed has to get into the market and buy debt. So, if anything, President Trump is actually bringing the Federal Reserve more to the forefront here of what can now unfold as not just a trade war, but a debt war. Now, let me talk about the debt war. It's no secret that the U.S. is the largest debtor nation in the history of the world. That debt is a terrible liability. Countries all over the world, China being the largest holder of our debt. Do you think that the Chinese, let's just stick with the Chinese right now, like us so much, they want to subsidize our lifestyle? You understand what I'm saying? Without them buying up our debt, do you think you would live the lifestyle that you have right now? Of course not. It's incredible, but people don't think of these things. So this has the potential to unfold in an extremely ugly way. And there's going to be some out here that are going to say, oh, well, the Chinese people, they're going to fold here. I doubt it. The Chinese, they can deal with hardship. People here in the United States, the nanny state that we are in right now, the entitlement state, we can't handle anything. Zero. So you think about these things here. As we move forward, none of this is looking good right now. And I wish President Trump were going about this a little different way. You know, maybe I'll run for office, honestly, because I have a lot of ideas. I'm just joking. But seriously, I don't know, maybe I should. Let's go over some of this again real quick. This weak dollar here, weak dollar policy that President Trump clearly wants, should be easy to figure out for you. That means that he wants you to start paying more for everything. It takes more weak dollars to buy anything. You understand? He's concerned right now with trying to keep this stock market propped up. The weak dollar and the Federal Reserve suppressing interest rates are the two factors that have vaulted stocks to where they are now. And again, by President Trump making these kinds of statements, he's bringing the Federal Reserve to the forefront, not getting rid of the Fed, but demanding more of their product, debt. You understand? So if these things were to play out in one way here, which it will, there's no doubt about it, we will enter a currency war. Currencies are a unit of debt, and this can escalate into countries around the world, let's say like China, saying, hey, you know what? We're done subsidizing your lifestyle. We're not buying any more of your debt. What will that do? Well, the Fed will have to be, again, the lender of last resort, and we're going to get QE into infinity. Don't you understand? This is not a good situation at all, and I think it's one that we cannot win. Americans, we are soft. We can't handle anything, and again, we have a nanny state here. We have an entitlement state. If you believe that the American people, with their mentality, can take more than the Chinese people, you are so deluded that you really should go out drinking tonight or something. Maybe that'll help you think more clearly, because it's not true. And this, really, that goes back to where this market is going to go. Yes, a weak dollar and the Federal Reserve having to not raise rates even 0.25% regarding the federal funds rate, which is upsetting our president in an environment where he believes it's the strongest that we've ever been. He says this over and over again, is frankly beyond me. Maybe you're smarter than I am. You people out here, I'm sure a lot of you are, but enlighten me as to what I am missing then, because something is wrong here. And look, I personally do not care who's sitting in that nice White House over there. I can promise you that no matter what comes out of their mouth, your interest nor mine is really at their forefront. And that's the truth. So forget about it. This here, if you put this all together, you can understand here that if the Federal Reserve here has to start buying up more debt or doesn't raise rates, the Fed has to get into the market and make it happen. They can't just say things. You understand? So this means the Federal Reserve is going to become more important than it was even before. You and I will be more debt-laden than we are now, especially if countries around the world, like China, say, hey, we're done subsidizing your lifestyle. You understand? That's what this all is. Do you think any of this is real? Any of it around you? If you live in debt, if you owe money on your house, your car, your credit card, are you living, how is that even possible? Well, because countries like China are buying all the debt. You understand? Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to buy anything. You'd probably be living in a shack. I'd be willing to bet that most of you who are watching this video have a negative net worth. A negative net worth. Think about these things here. It's unbelievable, people. It really is. And it's frightening to think about how this can unfold. And I'll tell you something else here. I know I'm going off, but if President Trump has his way and we devalue our country, that's really the truth. Maybe that was a slip of the tongue here, but that's what will happen. Our worth on a global scale will be diminished. Countries won't want to hold our debt. Other nations around the world. So yeah, I was right. But if we enter some type of a currency devaluation war, we're in a lot of trouble. Again, forget about any wage increases. That'll be erased. You'll start having to shell out more cash for everything you want. And look, you think about these things, and you tell me how any of this is any good. I'll tell you where it's going to lead to a shooting war. That's what this is going to lead to. Why do you think we're arming ourselves here in the United States, countries around the world, arming themselves? China! Why? For fun? Well, it always ends in a horrible way, and that is the potential that we have here. I believe there has to be more dialogue before this goes any further, because this now, again, has the potential to get extremely ugly. All right, with that said, I'm going to let you all go. No, it's been kind of long. If I covered anything here that you think is important, first of all, I want to hear from you. Write comments. Even if I don't write back to you, I will look at the comments. Get a conversation going with each other. Use the chat room on my website as well. It's always full. I can't even get in there myself, barely. But seriously. Anyway, that's it. We will talk more tomorrow when I do my look ahead. And we'll see how that plays out too. See you tomorrow. Bye.